Hi, welcome to Exousia's Grant Talk. I'm Danny Arthur, and I'm so glad to have you join me for the topic of Pay First, Get Paid Back. It's called a reimbursable grant. Okay, so imagine this. Someone hands you a voucher for a free pizza, but here's the catch. You have to buy the pizza first, save your receipt, submit it, and then they pay you back. That, my friend, is a reimbursable grant. And that's exactly how many government grants work, including one of the biggest security grants available to nonprofit organizations in America right now. A reimbursable grant is not free money up front. It is an approved promise. The funder says, yes, we'll cover this, but you have to spend your own money first. Document every penny, submit your receipts and invoices, and the funder sends you the money after you have done the work. It's basically a very formal government-approved version of expensing your work trip. The 4 steps of the reimbursement cycle looks like this. Get approved, you spend, you document, they reimburse. So if someone tells you, we got the grant, well, wonderful, but that money isn't in your bank account yet. The clock has started on your spending, your documenting, as well as your waiting. All 3 at the same time. The key truth to remember, reimbursement does not mean free upfront money. Your organization carries the full financial weight until reimbursement arrives, which can take weeks, depending upon that reporting and reimbursement cycle. So you need to plan your budget and cash flow accordingly. Let's take the time to meet the NSGP, or the Nonprofit Security Grant Program, because your security upgrade is calling. The NSGP is real money for real security upgrades. Anything from cameras to impact-resistant doors, windows, access control systems, fencing, lighting, alarm systems, cybersecurity tools, even security training. If your organization has ever thought, we really need better security but can't afford it, this program, it was literally designed just for your organization. The NSGP for fiscal year 2026 has already opened and closed, but it's not too early to get started for next year's grant cycle. Each state's administrative agency sets its own deadline, which may be earlier than FEMA's. So you need to start watching yours. Get on your state administrative agency's email notification list immediately. Or, better yet, reach out to Exousia today and we'll begin to walk you through the process and write the NSGP application for you. It's a great idea to get started early, as some states open and close within an extremely tight 2-week window. But I want us to talk a little bit right now about the cash flow gap, the part that nobody warns you about. Here's where it gets real. Let's say you're approved for $200,000 to upgrade your security system. You hire the contractor, they install everything. The invoice lands on the bookkeeper's desk for $80,000, and you have to pay that out of your operating funds. And then you submit your reimbursement request, and you may have to wait 30 to 90 days or longer if there are unfortunate government slowdowns before that money comes back into your bank account. That gap between when you pay and when you get paid back, that's the cash flow gap. And if your organization doesn't have the resources to cover it, you may be in financial trouble before the project even starts. We call it the valley. Your job is to never fall into that financial valley. So what do? You can begin to prepare now. Before you even apply, you can start building the financial muscles to carry this grant. Here are 6 moves every nonprofit should make before pursuing a reimbursable grant. First, build a dedicated reserve fund. Start setting aside 20 to 30% of your projected grant expenses into a separate account. Don't touch it for anything else. This is your grant float fund. Even small monthly contributions can add up over the next 6 to 12 months of preparation waiting for the next fiscal year to open. 2. Really know your reimbursement cycle. Go ahead, look on your state administrative agency's website, send them an email, and ask exactly how often you can submit reimbursement requests. I will say that from experience, that's typically quarterly, but for other grants, if it's monthly, the more frequent the cycle, the smaller that your cash flow gap will be. So request monthly submission if it's allowed. 3, consider a line of credit before you need it. Talk to your bank now about a short-term line of credit or a bridge loan. It's much easier to get approved when you're not desperate. This becomes your emergency bridge across the cash flow gap. 4, separate your grant account completely. Open a dedicated bank account just for this grant. Every dollar in and every dollar out is tracked independently. Commingling grant funds with operating funds is a compliance nightmare and a red flag in audits. 5, learn to document everything obsessively. Receipts, invoices, purchase orders, proof of payment. Save it all in one organized folder, digital or physical. Reimbursement for government grants is denied for missing documentation, not bad intentions. Be the organized nonprofit that gets paid faster. Another huge tip is to phase your spending strategically through your timeline. Don't front load every expense into month 1. Plan your spending in waves that align with your reimbursement submission dates. Spend, submit, get reimbursed, then spend again. Work with the cycle, not against it. So take that into consideration when you're building your grant timeline. So you have a goal. Never let the cash flow gap threaten your mission, critical operations. Security upgrades should not put your operations at risk. Plan your finances thoroughly before you commit to your project scope. And let's return one more time to the project timeline. Remember, your timeline for the NSGP has to account for cash flow, but also construction. A timeline that ignores your finances and focuses only on construction is like building a road without bridges. Eventually, you hit a river. Here's the bottom line. A reimbursable grant is one of the most powerful tools available to your nonprofit, but only if you're prepared to float the cost first. The Nonprofit Security Grant Program could put $200,000 worth of security upgrades into your facility. Cameras, locks, lighting, training, access control system, the works. But you have to be ready financially, operationally, and organizationally. So I highly encourage you to start building your reserve fund today. I also want to throw in and just let you know about Dominion Capital. Exousia Ministries is partnering with churches across our nation to build a fund so that we are able to provide short-term funding for churches. So if you need cash flow boost to get through a reimbursable grant, reach out to Exousia today. We have your solution. I'll see you later.